Ja, hallo zusammen. Hello everybody. Today I want to help you to improve your songwriting skills. In order to achieve this, you can use some creative methods. For example, this song draft, song idea in a whole, as you heard, I played for a short time. How did I start to create this sound? How did I shape my own unique sound? This is the aim of everybody who has to do with songwriting. I developed it as follows. First of all, I had only this track, so I switch it on solo and just developed a pattern out of this synth melody accompanied. Yes, in principle, unusual pattern. What I mean with creating and generate impulses for you to go further, I began only with the normal melody, which is typical with strings, splitted chords played separately, each alone. And then this is standard. And I thought, now how will you go now? How will you generate some own unique sound? And so it was my idea in this case. Take a look at these two notes I just marked. If I hold the left mouse button pressed, you hear what happens. Here also. No, similar, slightly different, and this is unique in the way that it's not this normal pattern of a chord played in notes and time. But here again, I thought, okay, I will create some special addition to this. And now together, and I will only show this with the strings accompanied and not the others with drums. And now here. Yes. Instead of only having these chords separated, played, I, in addition, put those two notes, made them longer, and here you see the special sign. I will switch back for a short moment. You see in this VST, a VST instrument, it's just Halion Sonic, no, standard strings. Within Halion Sonic, I adjusted only some parameters as attack and so on, but that is not does not matter for the moment. But you see here, which many I'm sure many do not know, and this is even special, some creative techniques to add besides from the standard MIDI notes. You have these curves, and if I make a double click, you see this comes from these two notes I created creatively. And if I have activated this, if you never used this, maybe it's not in the toolbar, then you should, let me see. Yeah, right mouse click on the toolbar somewhere, doesn't matter. And then these are options to select. And you have to make visible this. That is where we had a note expression data show. And this is this tool. And only if you activate within the editor, you can, by double clicking, open another sub-editor. You have to get used to this, but it's by principle very simple. And those different curves are all effects. You see them here I used. And via the inspector, you can see, one moment, in note expression, those you can that are available, and these are typical parameters you can modulate sounds. And this is what I did to make this longer note change that dynamically. In a normal, let me say, even fast more classical kind of playing, I added this creative element, and then rhythmically I adjusted it. So this is more with some, let me say, pepper, instead of just playing these single notes. Yes. So I started. No, let's revise. The theme today is generating creative song ideas. Yes. And this is where I started with. So what I want to say is, if you have no idea, you have you are in a mood of, oh, I feel uncreative, I don't have any ideas for songwriting, what should I do next? You can use some techniques and methods in Cubase, and also, of course, other DAWs. As pendant, that you that those tools help you to go further and develop your own unique sound for your song. So this is where I started with. So it's a little more interesting, so this way. And then I always go to drums or bass. Here I only have the strings at lower areas, but I did not until now. I will. It's only a first draft. I added drums, but until now I did not add bass. only just to show you how you can create songs. It's not always the same way that I say I have to have first drums and bass off my start, to be honest, with bass line and drums and vice versa. But sometimes you create an idea with some switchy sound, and then you take this as basis and go further, and then I made in the second step the drums. So let us hear. Well, this was my second step. I separated it on each individual instrument from the drum kit, so that I can mix it separately, the kick, the snare, and so on. But this is a theme for another video, but don't be irritated. You could just take drums, prepared drums from Groove Agent or whatever. But I did only to show you what is important for songwriting, I think. If you take standard things, always, I did in the beginning, the first time of composing songs, but then I got a good friend with this editor, and only I try to show you the short principle. Now I have to switch to drum editor. And then you have, this is very cool, I think it's much more better than since Cubase 14 Pro we have how it's called, the drum machine. You can do some things, but if you are familiar with Zählzeiten in German, the partly beats, when has a kick, a bass to be on the first, the fourth, or whatever, or you can quantize it. It's worth to spend some time on it, and you can create it. I created it very shortly. I will go further, but only the first draft. It's of course the main elements, bass drum and acoustic snare. And what is very important in general is, and that is better than always taking the Groove Agent presets. This is Groove Agent sound, but I did the own accentuators on the bass drum, so you can see I signed them in. So it's if you have a rhythmically good feeling, you will see the advantages, and it's very quick in the workflow. And so the bass fits to the feeling of the rhythm of my first step. So let me symbolize this. So first of all, I didn't have the drums. This was my first step, and then my second the drums. And so I feel in the rhythm and try. I try some things, and so I know the Zählzeiten, the times, the partly times in between the beats, when I have to put and push the kick, and so I develop it. It's very for the whole feeling of the sound. It's crucial, it's fundamental to have the right bass. No? And then when you the bass drum, and then next I do not have now, as I said. In next step I will add a bass which also fits to the melody and the accented bass drum hits, so that is rhythmically one melted together. This is very important. So this was the second step, and then I have a third step. Further steps will follow. But then I had the idea with guitar. So we go this way. We separately have a look at the third step. In this case, not always. It's not always the case. There is no fixed index that I say I have to do this first and then that and then that. Sometimes I have an idea and then I develop the next steps. So I thought 1, 2, 3 and 1. So this slides in a nice guitar, some effects on it. So it sounds a bit weird and it fits to the synthesizer sound. And on top I want it to be also a bit rocky. So it's with delay and reverb. And then a second guitar track. It's a kind of amplifying it, but it's in the timeline set different. Here it's on the second time of counting. This is on the 1, and in addition this is on the 2, and together wait. So it's better. So pay attention on this. Boom, boom. It's a kind of amplifying. It's not an echo. It's similar, but it's played on its own, not as an echo effect, and some other effects. And you have all, of course, these standard things. And you see here on this wave that I did work on it, referring to quantization, audio, and so on. And I also used, but this should not be theme, it's interesting for another thing, these quick notes. Yes, it's quite quick, but I didn't play them notes so quick. I used a trick. I played it half the tempo because my guitar skills are not at pro level. It's not virtuous, and so I played it at half level, and then I selected time stretch and reduced it to the half of the size. So which I played slower got got faster, no? As double. some ideas, just no, just also no. You see, you have if you know if you get used with the DAW, you will see that you can, even if you are not a very advanced musician, you can create the unique sounds, professional sounding sounds, and this is what is interesting. Genau, these are all exactly, this is what I have until now. As I said, next step would be bass, and I have already a good idea for the verse, for the chorus, and this will be the next steps, and I will show you later on. Sorry, my bad English. Yes, I will improve, I'm sure. It can be worse. So, thanks for watching. I want to give a hint on the following. You know what I mean. Thank you. And let's come to the end. I'm looking forward to the next time.